It's been 25 years since I left Earth for another world. Today, I will destroy the monsters and save this world. Just then, the flames raged violently as a sudden explosion of energy erupted. A blinding light devoured the space. An overwhelming presence emerged from the darkness, a beastly figure with blazing red eyes. A berserk demon beast appeared, its voice echoing. "Still alive. You truly are a hero." It taunted, "But it seems your companions are barely holding on." Hearing this, Hyun-seok scoffed. "Looks like you're not much better off." The berserk demon beast began to roar. "I will shatter that shield." Hyun-seok was fearless. He powerfully swung his staff, then unleashed a mighty slash that shattered the ground around him. Meanwhile, Hyun-seok's companions were creating a barrier together to block the berserk demon beast's attack. Purple rays glowed around the beast as it threatened, "If you do not submit, I will crush you." It began to unleash a stream of purple energy forward. "This land is a kingdom built by my fangs and claws." The purple streams grew thicker, heading straight for Hyun-seok. But his expression remained stern, his sharp eyes showing no fear. Hyun-seok swung his staff to counter the attack, emitting a blinding light as both his hands gripped the staff tightly. Fierce flames erupted around Hyun-seok. He said in a deep voice, "Let's end this." A blinding flash erupted, a fierce orange-yellow light spreading out. Hyun-seok's eyes widened in anger as he braced himself against the explosion of light before him. A dazzling golden energy shot out, tearing through space. Full of power, Hyun-seok activated his flame art, causing the fire to erupt high into the air. Smoke and fire exploded violently. Hyun-seok landed forcefully, shattering the ground as his feet slammed down. It created a white shockwave around him. A spark shot straight down, shattering the earth. Two ferocious gazes met, surrounded by large broken boulders. The berserk demon beast lunged to attack Hyun-seok. It raised its hand, revealing sharp claws, and slashed down, but Hyun-seok quickly blocked the attack. The immense pressure forced him to slide back. The berserk beast laughed ferociously. "That feeble strike didn't even leave a scratch on me." Hyun-seok raised his hand. A red aura enveloped him. "Feeble, you say?" He swung his staff, and powerful blasts of energy shot straight at the berserk beast. Hyun-seok said in a low voice, "This should be enough to cut down your arrogance." The berserk beast was engulfed in raging flames. The helmet on its head fell to the ground with a clang. The beast, half incinerated, collapsed to the earth. Its voice still echoed, "To think there's someone in this world who dares to confront me like this." Hyun-seok stated again, "Let me repeat myself. I am not from this world." The berserk beast raised its voice. "You keep spouting incomprehensible nonsense. Fine. I suppose I'll fall here, but my body will be absorbed by the earth, and one day." As it said this, it suddenly froze, not believing its own eyes. It wondered, "Am I disappearing?" Hyun-seok laughed. "What's wrong?" "Can't regenerate anymore." He explained, "The flame burning you is my special ability, the heaven-defying flame. Unlike normal fire that needs oxygen, it burns abstract things like willpower." Reason and memories. You enjoyed resurrecting over the centuries, didn't you? Well, that's over now. Because the thing that's burning is your very existence. Hearing this, the berserk demon beast was shocked. "You mean my time is up, even if I disappear from this place?" "You won't be remembered as a world-saving hero," it emphasized. "Those you call companions actually just want you to die here." Hyun-seok replied calmly, "I know." The berserk demon beast was startled. "You know." Suddenly the saintess interrupted. "Hero, don't listen to the monster." Hyun-seok began his assessment. "Let's start with the saintess, shall we? Although she confessed to me, she actually despises an outsider like me. Every move she makes is calculated," he asserted, "when the battle ends. They will purge the hero." Hyun-seok asked the saintess, "Did I say anything wrong?" Hearing that, the saintess's expression changed. Her lips tightened and her eyes darkened. Hyun-seok's voice continued, "The other two are the same. My assessment of the knight, he received a treasure from the emperor to kill me, a monster slayer. That cowardly king is just afraid of losing his throne." The knight gritted his teeth and growled, "How could you?" Hyun-seok continued, "The mage who loves human experimentation hates me because I oppose the slave system. In other words, I've known for 5 years that they would kill me after you died." After hearing this, the berserk demon beast spoke, "I don't understand, hero. With the power to push me into a corner like this, you could easily destroy this world. A hint of sadness appeared in Hyun-seok's eyes. Because I want to go home. The berserk demon beast, slowly fading away, asked confusedly. Home. Hyun-seok's memories began to flood back. 25 years ago, in 2005 on Earth, I was a 30-year-old office worker. I was brought to this world by someone who called herself a goddess. Oh, chosen hero, please save the world from the monsters. It's a common trope in novels, isn't it? Stories about ordinary people going to another world. But where I ended up, a voice cried out, "Please save us." And that was the very embodiment of disaster. I tried everything to get back, but then the goddess's voice appeared. You only have one choice, destroy the monsters and save the world. So for 25 years, I trained to fight. Back then, Hyun-seok was stopped by 2 guards. Even a hero isn't allowed to leave without permission. In his hand was... Hyun-seok held a baby in his arms, his voice urgent. I saved a child from the village, let them in. But a gatekeeper shouted angrily, "It's about to die." Just leave it. It's a waste of medicine. At that moment, Hyun-seok realized how cruel this world was, abandoning the weak. But the bigger problem was... A person screamed in hopeless agony. A man in a white hat ordered, "Hold him down. Cut off his leg before the infection spreads." Hyun-seok judged the medical care here to be as backward as the Middle Ages. He thought to himself, they have to amputate a leg for just a minor infection. All the mages are at war, so there's no one to heal. Suddenly a voice from ahead called out, "Sir Hero!" A cleric asked, "That child was captured by monsters. How did you find them, sir?" But even more horrifying, a woman laughed mockingly. "It must be possessed by a demon to have survived. We will perform an exorcism. We're in the middle of exorcising a few others right now." The woman asked again, "You wouldn't dare go against the will of the heavens, would you?" It was then that Hyun-seok realized this disgusting world had no concept of human rights. If he wanted to save it, he would have to cast aside his needless kindness. After 25 years of suffering, I have finally destroyed the monsters and saved this wretched world. Hyun-seok looked down, feeling a sense of satisfaction in his heart. It's over. Just then, a sword was drawn. A voice rang out, "We'd rather be discovered. We cannot let you live." Hyun-seok turned around and replied, "You know what I hate this world." The knight frowned, cursing inwardly. "Damn it." Hyun-seok silently lamented, "I should have bled out from my injuries. I couldn't even move, let alone attack. I killed the monsters, only to become a monster myself." He then opened his mouth, smoke billowing out. Hyun-seok roared in anger, "I have completed my mission. Keep your promise to me." Boy-t. At that moment, the blood-red sky suddenly cracked open, revealing streaks of light. A bright patch grew larger, shining down with a blinding glare. The goddess appeared smiling. "You have worked hard, hero. You have finally defeated the monsters." Lee Hyun-seok pointed up at her. "Hey, goddess, you remember, don't you? You said that if I killed the monsters, all my memories, experience, and even my soul would be returned to Earth intact." The goddess's voice turned threatening. "Do you truly dislike this world so much? Even if you have the power to threaten me, all of Lee Hyun-seok's achievements will disappear." Hearing this, Hyun-seok let out a helpless smile. He yelled, "Stop acting! Don't you worry because I'm leaving." The goddess said in a low voice, "But this world has no more monsters now." She clasped her hands together. "You won't regret this, will you?" Hyun-seok immediately let go of the staff in his hand. "I just want one thing, to go back to the world I know." His staff fell to the ground with a clang. "That's all." Hearing his request, the goddess made her decision. "Very well." Hyun-seok's hands began to fade away. "So long, you disgusting world." At that very moment, a massive pillar of light shone down on Hyun-seok as the goddess's voice rang out. "Your physical body has already disintegrated on Earth. I will place your soul into a new vessel." Hyun-seok asked groggily, "Whose body?" The goddess replied, "I cannot give you the details, but it is a body on the verge of death. However, you will be able to survive." Hyun-seok's body continued to dissolve. "As long as I can get back to Earth, I don't care if I'm about to die. No matter how harsh my fate, it's still happier than the memories of this place." Back on Earth, a dim light illuminated the room. A man lying on a bed asked aloud, Am I back? 2025 Earth. The soul of the hero Lee Hyun-seok has now entered the body of a civilian Yu Chan-seok. Chan-seok sat up and cursed, "Those bastards from the other world. From now on, I won't have to see those traitors' faces again." He glanced in the mirror, his eyes widening in surprise. "I'm an Earthling now." Chan-seok hugged the mirror, overjoyed. "I'm really back, Earth." He turned on the faucet, laughing with delight. Clean, unpolluted water. This is real magic. To hell with you mages. Then Chan-seok lit the gas stove. Fire at the push of a button. No more chopping wood to start a fire from now on. Suddenly he was captivated by a delicious aroma from a paper box. "I've missed everything so much." Chan-seok drooled as he stared at the box of fried chicken. "This is fried chicken, right?" He gently picked up a piece, his eyes sparkling. Then Chan-seok sat down and eagerly devoured the pile of fried chicken. His whole body trembled as he cheered with joy. "It's so good I could cry. This is what you call food." Suddenly tears started streaming down Chan-seok's face. "I missed it all so much. I can finally start a normal life. First, I need to adapt." What 2025 time flowed in parallel with that other world? Well, it's fine. No matter how hard things get, it can't be as horrible as that world. Inside the bathroom, water poured from the shower head. Chan-seok stood under the stream, enjoying the instantly available hot water. Cold air at the push of a button. The sky was clear blue without a single cloud. He pressed his hand against the glass window, looking down below. This is what life is supposed to be. So different from that filthy world. While Chan-seok was talking to himself, a monstrous face appeared. Is it 2025 already? Where should I start? Maybe I should play some StarCraft first. He turned his head, jumped in shock, and screamed. Chan-seok looked up and asked, "What the hell is this?" A mechanical voice announced, "Attention all residents. An invasion rift has appeared in the residential area." He turned his head to look behind him. What's an invasion rift? The voice continued, "All residents are advised to evacuate to the nearest shelter immediately. I repeat." Chan-seok looked confused and terrified. What the hell is going on? What are all these things? As his eyes glanced out the window, they met something unclean. Hordes of monsters with terrifying faces were clinging to the glass, their sharp claws pressing down hard. The glass couldn't take it and shattered. Outside in the dark and quiet hallway, a door was suddenly thrown open as Chan-seok burst out. He ran, glancing back over his shoulder. What are all these things? The horde charged madly toward Chan-seok. What in the world has Earth turned into? He hid on a window ledge. The monsters, unaware, continued up the stairs. As soon as they were out of sight, Chan-seok climbed off the ledge. He poked his head out and sighed in relief. Phew, that was a close one. Chan-seok saw a young boy wandering nearby. The kid Sung-ah saw him and asked, are you a survivor? Chan-seok walked over worriedly and said, "It's dangerous here. You need to get to a shelter quick." The kid didn't listen and instead looked around frantically. "Sir, have you seen any monsters around here?" Sung-ah said nonchalantly. "I'm planning to kill it. Do you want to come with me?" Chan-seok, in disbelief, furrowed his brow and asked, "What I heard, Earth has been like this for about 13 years now. Damn it. He refuses to go to the shelter, but I can't just leave him behind. He's talking about invasion rifts that are older than he is. So I had no choice but to take this kid with me." He spoke first. "If what you're saying is true, then those invasion rifts are monster portals. No one knows when they appeared. Where or how?" Sung-ah quickly replied, "Yes, that's right." Chan-seok's expression immediately darkened. "I came back to Earth after surviving hell, only to find that Earth has become hell too." "Are you kidding me? That damn tricky goddess?" The kid suddenly looked over and asked, "But how come you don't know any of this?" Startled, he quickly made up an excuse. That's because I was living in America. I just got back." This made Sung-ah even more skeptical. How the U.S. president was impeached for trying to send his daughter to Korea. YouTube said you can't even get back to Korea. What is he talking about? Seeing this wasn't going well, Chan-seok quickly changed the subject. "Oh, right. By the way, are you a hunter? What was that name again?" The kid smiled brightly and replied excitedly, "Lisa Jung. From the Zanabi Guild, ranked 10th globally. Main weapon is a longsword, currently handling the invasion rift in Chowan." Chan-seok sighed in relief internally, dodged the question. "But A normal human fighting monsters, is it just like in the other world? How is that even possible? Sung-ah's voice made Chan-seok jump. Especially that longsword. It's so cool. As the kid was talking, Chan-seok covered his mouth. I have a really cool clip of Lisa Young on YouTube. Wanna see? Chan-seok hid in a corner, thinking to himself, damn it, there are monsters outside lurking for prey. Monsters. And quite a few of them. 5 to be exact. Ah no, including the one in hiding that makes 6. Fortunately, this body has above average muscle mass. I'm used to fighting multiple enemies, so it should be fine. But what do I do with this kid? If I leave him alone, something bad will definitely happen. Where did all your determination to kill monsters go, huh? While Chan-seok was thinking, a light suddenly shone from somewhere. What am I supposed to do without a proper weapon? Below his feet was a widening band of light. Wait a minute. This presence in the air, it's mana. I am sure of it. It's exactly the same as what I felt in that other world. In that case, a stream of dark energy flew out and hit the face of a nearby monster. It was immediately corroded and began to howl in pain. He held his hand forward and light enveloped it. Even though my 25 years worth of accumulated mana is gone, he smirked to himself. If there's mana in the air, I can still use the heaven-defying flame that's engraved on my soul. The fire is weaker than before, though. Its head fell to the ground and slowly disintegrated. But this is more than enough. Sung-ah, standing beside him, shouted in praise, "Whoa, mister, you're amazing!" The kid's eyes sparkled. I thought you didn't know anything, so I was a bit suspicious. I can't believe you have a unique attribute. Chan-seok scratched his head and laughed shyly. It's a relief you weren't hurt. So this is what they call a unique attribute. Sung-ah, you're just gonna charge the monsters like that. Oh, right. I have to confirm this on the official Hunter Academy YouTube channel. He ran after him shouting, "Be careful!" Before Trancel could finish speaking, the monster, engulfed in the heaven-defying flame, suddenly lunged out from the black smoke. It won't extinguish until its target is completely dead. A spray of red blood splattered everywhere. Sung-ah trembled all over his eyes, welling up with tears. Kiddo, his hand covered in blood, gripped the monster. Even though I have no idea what YouTube is. Chan-seok stood in front of him, his face gentle. But you should stop watching that stuff. He then asked, "Can I borrow that stick?" Sung-ah finally snapped out of his daze after the crisis. The kid obediently handed the stick to Chan-seok. "Here you go." The monsters that weren't completely incinerated rushed in from all 4 sides surrounding them both. His eyes quickly scanned over them. Continuous strikes were unleashed and blood flew everywhere. Chan-seok swept past all the monsters. Wherever he passed was soaked in red blood. Sung-ah, his eyes widened as if seeing an unbelievable sight. The boy stammered, That's insane. You're actually a hunter in disguise, aren't you?" He didn't answer, just stood there catching his breath. So, I'm back on Earth, and I still have to smell the stench of blood. I just wanted to rest in peace after all that hardship. Who knew this world would be any different from the other one? Inside the shelter, everyone was gathered, chatting lively. The door slowly opened with a dry creak, and Chan-seok walked in from outside. He muttered incessantly, "So now I'm not calling you little demon, but kiddo, huh?" Sung-ah followed behind him, holding the stick. "Are you treating me like an elementary schooler?" A woman saw them and exclaimed in surprise, "Yoon Sung-ah!" With a worried face, she hugged the boy and asked, "Did you bring Yoon Sung back?" "Thank you so much. You must have had a hard time with this stubborn child." "Mom." He didn't understand and just scratched his head, replying, "Ah, yes." Chan-seok noticed the designer earrings and expensive clothes the mother was wearing. So he's a rich kid, no wonder. Suddenly, a powerful tremor shook the place, throwing everyone into a panic. A giant hand smashed through the shelter door. A loud crashing sound echoed as everyone looked outside in terror. The monster opened its mouth wide and roared in its own language. The terrified crowd scattered and ran. The shelter wall has collapsed. Everyone run. Sung-ah, a little scared, turned to look at Chan-seok. "Hey, this time we have to run. There's no way we can fight that." Chan-seok's face darkened as he thought, "I'm not asking for much." Chan-seok's arm trembled. "I just want to return to the world I know, to my beloved homeland." He clenched his fist so hard his palms started to bleed. "Is that dream too much to ask for?" Chan-seok spoke softly. "Kiddo." Sung-ah retorted irritably, "I told you not to call me that." He ignored him and continued, "You're a rich kid. So why do you want to be a hunter? Can't you just stay in a safe place? You don't have to fight." The boy listened obediently to everything Chan Seok said. "I lost my dad because of monsters." An invasion gate appeared right inside the shelter, a place that was supposed to be safe. That's when I realized that there's no safe place in this world. So even though I'm not strong like you, even though I'm still scared of monsters, I will become the strongest hunter, Sunga suddenly shouted at the top of his lungs. "I'll wipe out every invasion gate and save this world." To you, that's probably a stupid dream, huh? Chan Seok suddenly smiled. "No, you'll become an excellent hunter." After saying that, he walked forward. Even if he couldn't save the world, the woman standing beside them pulled the boy back. "Yoon Sung, you can't go." Sung-ah struggled trying to run to Chan Seok. "Wait, Mr." A sudden cold gust of wind rushed in, making the two of them freeze. Sung-ah quickly turned to look behind him. The boy's eyes widened in utter amazement. In front of him was Chan Seok touching the enormous monster, because this is my duty. Sung-ah's eyes sparkled as he looked at him. "Save the world. Roni, Asanwasui." Chan Seok tilted his head and smiled gently. "Because I've done it before, so I'll definitely do a better job than you, kid." After spending 25 years killing monsters in another world, I returned to Earth. But before I could even enjoy my freedom, I had to face an invasion gate. Luckily, thanks to my experience from my past life, I survived. And after promising that kid I'd save the world, Chan Seok sat in front of a monitor, biting on a water bottle. I did nothing at all. He was playing a game on the computer. The match end icon appeared. Chan Seok took the water bottle out of his mouth, his eyes still glued to the screen. So that's how it works. This is way too easy. He reached for a cold can of soda. Someone who saved the world before is better at playing. What the hell is this? Even though I'd made that passionate declaration in front of everyone, my intention to save the world didn't last long. In the other world, I used to dream about games and delicious food, a utility system that's one-touch simple. Besides saving the world is a job for hunters. So, whatever, Chan Seok picks up his phone and wonders, should I just order some food? The severance pay is all gone. The original owner of this body, Yu Chan Seok, was an employee at a logistics company. But he lost his job because of the invasion gates. Now, with his severance pay depleted, I'm looking for a new job. He lowers his head. What are the chances of a normal company hiring anyone now? Chan Seok lays sprawled across the table in despair. With invasion gates appearing constantly, most companies have gone bankrupt. It makes sense. You need a job to survive in modern society, and companies only hire people with experience. He lies next to his phone's glowing screen. But I have experience too, you know. At the Hunter Association District stands a towering skyscraper. People bustle in and out, buzzing with excitement. Oh my God, I'm a hunter now. It's just the placement test, but I'm so excited. These placement tests are just a formality now. As long as you show some uniqueness, you pass. A pair of indifferent eyes scan the crowd. A bunch of cookie-cutter weirdos. A figure strides confidently into the crowd. What if I get too famous? Anyway, our class will definitely... His sentence cuts short as he stares in shock at the person before him. Who the hell is that Lee Sean? Lee Sean from Giljanabi. The person in the middle is indeed Lee Sean, the world's 10th-ranked hunter and a member of Giljanabi. The gossiping crowd quickly starts chattering. I thought he was off clearing invasion gates in Chorwan. Giljanabi sent someone to recruit. I wonder who they're here to see. A woman holds a phone, scrolling through profiles. Academy graduate Han Sang-ah. Awakening ability. On seeing the stimulation, Cian rests his chin on his hand and asks nonchalantly, "Can probably charge a battery with that, right?" The guard beside him quickly waves his hand. He's a hunter candidate, not a generator. Her skill application is quite good. She'll probably be useful, the woman says, causing him to freeze. Maybe not, huh? A sudden shout makes the guard jump. If you want to hunt monsters from the invasion gates, you need real combat experience. Whoa, that startled me, the other guard says with an excited expression. Even if they stand out at the academy, many don't perform well in the real world. Cian, satisfied, takes out a piece of candy and offers it to him. That's exactly what I mean. Now let the hunt begin. Thanks for the compliment. Cian thinks to himself, training is a far cry from a real battle. These kids are only used to safe exercises. I wonder if they can handle a real scene. Han Sang-ah will also need a long time to adapt. The woman sits in the stands looking down. The team leader knows that. That's why, even if I'm absent for a whole week, the announcer's voice cuts in. Esteemed hunters, let's begin the first match right now. She looks down with a hint of amusement. Either way, I have to complete my assigned mission. I'll just keep raising my value so they'll want to recruit me. The announcer adjusts his mic. Oh, this candidate is interesting. He's a civilian not from the academy. This is unprecedented. What gives him the right to stand in this arena, candidate Yu Chan-seok? He steps out a little flustered. I'm still not used to this new name. The MC's voice booms across the arena. I will now announce the rules. Personal weapons are prohibited. Only association-provided equipment is allowed. Causing serious or life-threatening injuries is forbidden. Chan-seok looks at his opponent with a serious expression. If I've decided to become a hunter, then first. Number 1, save this world that's on the brink of ruin. While he's thinking, his opponent speaks up first. Number 2, live a full and prosperous life. How absurd. Chan-seok pays him no mind and continues his train of thought. To do that, I first need to get a good result in this tournament. The announcer shouts, both candidates, take your positions. He raises his hand high, opens his mouth wide, and takes a deep breath. The moment his hand drops, the opponent instantly charges forward. The fight begins. The man smirks slyly. Am I really fighting someone who hasn't accumulated a single bit of magic power? Despite the fierce aura, Chan-seok remains calm and still. You should consider it an honor to lose to me. His face is filled with a triumphant and wicked expression. Flames suddenly erupt around the guy's body. I am the undefeated Spear King of the Academy. No matter how imposing his aura, his eyes remain indifferent, unwavering. The spear tip slams into the ground with a clang. As he points his spear forward, he freezes. What is this? His face shows clear disbelief. He vanished. Suddenly, a voice rings in his ear. Hey! Chan-seok rushes in from the right. Your spear technique is pathetic. He lands a punch to his opponent's stomach, giving him no time to block. Chan-seok also stomps hard on his opponent's foot, then follows up with an uppercut to his face. The continuous blows leave his opponent unable to defend. He falls back from the momentum. Chan-seok is stunned and quickly speaks up. Hey, wait! It's over already. I thought using a spear could cause serious injury, so I used my bare hands. And yet, his skill level is surprisingly amateurish. I hope this isn't the average level for hunters here. Sien's eyes immediately light up as he looks at him. Who is that kid? The woman immediately opens his file to check again. I heard he used to work in logistics. The guard beside her leans in and whispers, he has almost no magic power in his body. Ah, to achieve that kind of strength, you'd normally need a long time to accumulate it. But this result proves he's just lucky. Sien tosses a piece of candy to him. Chew on this and shut up. The woman thinks seriously before speaking. You can tell just by looking. That's not it at all. He deliberately didn't use his magic power, you see. Chan-seok rubs the back of his neck, skeptical. How is that even possible? Even though I went easy on him, it should be enough to prove my abilities. Maybe I should have ended it more decisively. The guy sits on the floor, holding his face in his hands. How could this happen? Chan-seok raises a fist and reassures him. Don't worry. It wasn't a fatal wound, but the other guy immediately threw up his hands in fear to block. A loud thud echoed through the noisy arena. He collapsed to the ground, the whites of his eyes showing completely unfocused. Murmurs started to ripple through the crowd. What? The winner is the EU candidate. Chan-seok Seun glanced to the side where that group of people was whispering amongst themselves. She thought for a moment, then shot to her feet and spoke up. While those guys are busy crunching numbers, I need to make a move. I want to see his true power. The bodyguard turned to look at her and asked, Where are you going? Seo-young smiled and replied, I need to see the association president. Chan-seok was up in the next matches. As he fought, he thought to himself, so weak. Even if they're just rookie hunters, how can they be this pathetic? The more he fought, the more he realized they were all just a bunch of pathetic losers. He took down an opponent holding a weapon with a single strike. What the hell is the academy even teaching these days, even after going through so many rounds? But Chan-seok showed no signs of fatigue. Is there no one here who's even remotely competent? A figure with white hair appeared swaying gently in the air. The people in the stands exclaimed, Wow, she's beautiful. Finally, a girl carrying a sword stepped out. "It's Han Sang-ah. There's our final candidate. Can she be the one to stop this mysterious rookie's winning streak?" Chan Seok tilted his head, about to say something. "You. At least you." He was cut off by her disdainful sigh. "You're the one who's accumulated the most mana today, aren't you?" Sang-ah shot back. "And you've got nothing. You only made it this far by pure luck. This is as far as you go." He rubbed his head and said calmly, "Did the Academy teach you these cliched lines too?" So Chan Seok's finally drawing his weapon. All we've seen him use is his bare hands. He probably doesn't have a unique trait then. Her eyes flashed with electricity. "But I won't go easy on you." His expression was priceless. Thanks. A unique trait, you say I have one. But if I were to use it, you'd get seriously hurt. As soon as she heard the signal, Sang-ah took a deep breath, readying herself. The moment the command was shouted, blinding arcs of electricity erupted around her. "Fight!" Sang-ah's hand, gripping the hilt of her sword, was enveloped in light and electrical currents. Chan Seok's eyes widened as if he had finally met a worthy opponent. Sang-ah. Her eyes turned completely white as she kicked off the air, launching herself forward. She was charging in, but suddenly faltered for a split second. Before her slash could even connect, he had already somersaulted into the air to evade it. She was stunned, thinking to herself, he dodged that. He jumped right through the electrical field. Interesting. Using magnetism between the sheath and the blade to create a propulsive force when you draw the sword like a railgun. He landed, bracing himself on the floor with one hand to keep his balance. "Well, you're definitely the strongest person here. But you've overlooked one crucial thing." Sang-ah asked, confused. "What?" Chan Seok explained her attack pattern in detail. "You're too focused on speed. Han Sang-ah's mistake is creating a magnetic rail in mid-air to accelerate your sword as you draw it." He smirked and continued, "No matter how fast and powerful you are, who's going to just stand still and let you hit them when your flight path is that obvious?" She was left speechless, unable to argue. "Shut up," Sang-ah yelled in frustration. "Even without using that skill, I'll still win." Chan Seok rushed forward, his tone mocking. "Are you an idiot? I dodged your fastest attack, remember?" She paid him no mind and continued to pour all her strength into her attack. This time, the slash was unleashed with immense force, yet he still calmly sidestepped it. "I'm pushing myself too hard. I'm forcing out too much mana. If I keep this up, my body's going to break down." Chan Seok stood before Sang-ah completely unscathed. "I'm quite impressed, but let's end this here." He gave a smile, but his words cut like a knife. "If it starts to hurt, just raise your left hand, all right?" Without a moment's hesitation, Chan Seok slammed his fist into her stomach. Unable to block in time, Sang-ah was hit so hard she gagged. He pulled his arm back from her gut and readied himself for the next blow. A relentless barrage of punches rained down on her. Unable to defend herself, she took the full force of every blow. Chan Seok raised his arm high, preparing the final strike. The attack was so powerful that smoke and dust swirled up from the force of the wind. Sang-ah's face was vacant from the beating blood trickling from her nose. She collapsed onto the arena floor for everyone to see. The faces of the spectators were blank with shock. "No way! Han Sang-ah, the Academy's valedictorian, was just completely dominated. Where in the world did this guy come from?" Chan Seok turned and nonchalantly rolled his shoulder. She was a cut above the rest, but to fall apart at this stage, she must be too reliant on mana, so her physical conditioning is poor. He let out a sigh and glanced behind him. "You plan on continuing?" Sang-ah's hand slowly rose into the air. Her arm trembled uncontrollably, but she still forced it up. His earlier words echoed in Chan Seok's mind. "If it hurts, raise your left hand." He smiled to himself. She's actually raising her hand, huh? Suddenly, someone appeared out of nowhere and ran towards the MC. The announcer asked in confusion, "What's going on?" The person said something to him. It made him shoot to his feet and yell an announcement. "There has been a change to the match schedule. The Champion IU channel has requested a short break." Hearing this, he wondered, what isn't the break over yet? The announcer continued stating that a special match would now take place between the IU channel champion and a certain incumbent hunter by special permission of the guildmaster. Please give them a warm round of applause. Hearing this, the bodyguard started sweating buckets, so she's really going through with it. Chan Seok stood below, looking up at the screen, which now displayed his opponent's name. The crowd's reaction showed this was a powerful hunter. A special match, huh? Really? Trying to test my skills. It's the same in every world. The sound of a sword dragging across the floor rang out. You're Ayu Chan-seok, right? Her long hair fluttered as Seun walked. Sorry for showing up so suddenly, but this is the only way to test your abilities. She held her enormous sword and introduced herself. I'm Lee Seun of Janabi. The last arena seemed a bit cramped. How about a match with me? Ayu Chan-seok, you can refuse if this is too much. I understand it's sudden. He was a bit shocked, thinking to himself, Lee Seun, the 10th ranked hunter in the world. Plus her current aura and demeanor aren't just for show. This is the pinnacle of power. Even with a weapon, it'd be hard to fight her in my current state. Chan-seok regained his composure and smiled, but then he unexpectedly spoke up. All right, let's do it. The announcer hearing this was stunned. Right now, Chan-seok spoke up, explaining, Actually, I haven't used much of my strength until now. Maybe I can show you something. Seun smirked teasingly. Eager are we? He didn't answer right away, thinking, I have to fight anyway, so running into her now is actually good. I'll get the best possible result in this tournament. She's the perfect opponent. For me to achieve that. Let's see. Chan-seok gripped his spear and said, Maybe I should raise my own value a bit. At that moment, everyone stared forward in surprise. The commentator's expression also became incredibly grim. Seun tightened her grip on her weapon and lunged forward. Chan-seok immediately used his blade to block her strike. He gritted his teeth. How can a woman's body have this much monstrous strength? As the thought passed, Chan-seok's arm counterattacked. Thrown off balance, Seun quickly returned to her starting position, her sharp gaze fixed on her opponent. His speed was already much slower than at the start. Chan-seok panted heavily, thinking, It's not that she doesn't have openings, but with my current stamina, I can't exploit them. Suddenly, Seun chuckled and spoke. I thought I'd finally get a good warm-up after all this time, but who knew you'd already be exhausted? Still, you did well. I thought you'd only last 5 minutes. As she finished speaking, her feet slowly began to sidestep. Instantly, she gripped her weapon and charged. To think you'd drag this out for 30 minutes. Now it's time to rest. Chan-seok's palms were still gripping his weapon tightly as he backed away. I've stored up a decent amount. There's not much magical energy in the air either. He lowered his head, his chest heaving with ragged breaths. Chan-seok thought to himself, even though I didn't want to use this, I guess I have no choice. As the thought ended, he regained his composure. Heaven-defying flame. Seun, who was leaping high into the air, suddenly froze. Without a moment's hesitation, she directly slammed her weapon into the ground. Chan-seok quickly jumped out of the way. Amidst the thick smoke, Seun smirked, thinking that was definitely a fatal blow. But how did he dodge that? Chan-seok stood there, stunned, his clothes in tatters. What is that? His face slowly lifted, surrounded by a dark aura. Heaven-defying flame. It's the special skill I used constantly before returning to Earth. It's also my most reliable power. Unlike normal fire, you can tell, since my clothes are still intact, this flame doesn't burn physical matter. Instead, each flame consumes abstract concepts that I designate as fuel. At my current output, I can't burn things with high flash points like willpower memories or reason. I immediately rushed forward barefoot. So the thing I'll burn right now is... Seun maintained her cold demeanor and retreated. He's faster now. In a flash, his blade struck, imbued with a powerful passive fatigue. Seun flinched, gritting her teeth. Her eyes widened. You've already recovered. As she spoke, she immediately launched a continuous counterattack against Chan-seok. Seun thought to herself, what is this? The concentration of magical energy in the air keeps fluctuating, but the arena's settings haven't changed. If that's the case, then could it be? Meanwhile, Chan-seok stared blankly ahead. Just as normal fire releases heat when it burns matter, heaven-defying flame also releases magical energy. When it burns an abstract concept, I use magical energy to sustain the heaven-defying flame, and then the heaven-defying flame burns my fatigue to create more magical energy. His feet immediately sped up as he rushed forward. It's a truly endless cycle. Seun's entire body leaped high into the air, her eyes glowing brightly. In other words, my skill is... In an instant, her weapon created a thick cloud of smoke all around. Seun's eyes were filled with determination as she asked, "You still want to continue?" But it seemed Chansok had no intention of giving up just yet. "It's a strategy of sticking to you until the very end." He slowly tilted his head and chuckled. "You've still got the energy to keep playing right. Oh, by the way, do you like guys who are persistent as leeches?" Agitated Seun hurriedly answered, "No, I absolutely despise them." Meanwhile, thoughts continued to form in Chansok's mind. When you burn wood, it leaves behind ash. And once it's all ash, you can't burn it anymore. Heaven-defying flame also leaves behind a residue like that. If I burn everything until only ash remains, the flame will disappear. Seun slowly raised her watch and spoke loudly. 4 hours and 17 minutes. She looked down at him. "You've held out for a long time. Do you still want to go on?" Chanseok covered his face and whined, "No more, please spare me." An announcement immediately followed. Contestant IU, Chanseok forfeits. Hunter Lee Seun is the winner. As the words faded, Seun slowly took a piece of candy from inside her coat. Everyone in the stands was roaring with excitement. The hunter won. Seun smiled brightly and said, "Here, you did great. This is for you and my card, too." Chansok glanced down at the business card in his hand. Janabi, Team 3 Partner Hunters. Seun chuckled, waving. "We'll talk details later. Just give me a call first." The final announcement was made. "I hereby declare the end of the hunter selection. The winner, you, Chansok, please come to the stage to receive your prize." Below, he was still lost in thought. "Janabi, is that a hunter organization?" At that moment, Chanseok was trying to enjoy the candy from Seun, his eyes fixed on his phone screen. "This phone has a hunter's license on it. Look at this technology. And I just got the license. Hunter community. Second-hand market for monster items. Urgent notices from the association. Military satellite messaging and calls." He slowly looked up. "It has everything." Suddenly a voice cut in. "Hunter, you Chanseok, right? You're even more impressive in person than on camera." Chanseok politely held out his hand. "He's so tall. Must be over 2 meters." "Yes, but you are," Sung Hyun said in a deep voice. "Here's my card." He mumbled, "Partner Hunter, Silver Corpse. Ew, Sung Hyun, you." The man cut him off. "To be precise, Partner Hunter of the Silver Corpse team, Yoon Sung Hyun. I'll be brief. Join the Silver Corpse, my team specifically. Gain enough experience under me, and you'll shine." Chanseok kept his eyes fixed on Sung Hyun's face. He didn't seem like a scammer. Suddenly, he remembered what Seun had said. "Here's my number. Call me." Chanseok felt awkward. "Someone else has already made me an offer, so I can't promise anything right now. I need to think it over and then decide." Sung Hyun laughed loudly. "Did you think I was going to force you to answer right now?" Suddenly, his hand landed on Chansok's shoulder, but then Sung Hyun slowly leaned in close and whispered, "You should consider it carefully." He quickly turned and walked away. "See you around." Lee Chansok stared wide-eyed at Sung Hyun's retreating back. "Silver Corpse. I'll pass." Seun spoke politely into the phone. "Yes, Lee Seun speaking." The person on the other end quickly replied, "This is Yu Chanseok. Where should I go?" She continued, "Second floor of the association building at the Choi Cafe. Let me send you the address. Head there." Soon he arrived at the Choi in the association building. An employee smiled brightly. "Welcome to the Choi Cafe." Seun turned her head and waved. "That was fast. Here, have a seat." Chanseok slowly approached. "This cafe has a weird name." She continued, "Is everything all right?" He quickly sat down opposite her. "Someone came to recruit me for a guild, a huge guy." Chansok emphasized, "It was Yoon Sung Hyun of the Silver Corpse." Seun chuckled in response. "Since Yoon Sung Hyun came to scout you himself, the other guilds probably won't dare make an offer now." He lowered his head, a smirk on his face. "So, does that mean Janabi too?" she said in a low voice. "Huh, I never intended to recruit you." Chanseok was surprised. "What? Then why?" Seun continued, "What if you didn't join a guild and worked independently? Like a freelancer." He rested his chin on his hand, thinking to himself, "So I don't have to join a guild." She said in a low voice, "Sung Hyun was probably planning to recruit you as a junior." Chanseok froze. "A junior position? What's a junior position? And what about a partner hunter?" Seun nodded. "Ah, right. You didn't graduate from the academy, did you? Guild hunters are usually divided into 3 ranks, junior, senior, and partner. Juniors and seniors belong to teams led by a partner. You can think of them as salaried employees. Partner hunters don't receive a salary but have shares in the guild. You can see them as small business owners. They share in the profits the guild earns. Chanseok was starting to understand. That sounds a lot like a law firm. Seun nodded. That's right. I heard the hunter who founded the first guild was inspired by a law firm. You don't necessarily have to join a guild and go through the junior and senior ranks to become a partner. He chuckled. I get it. If you become famous and have an impressive track record, they'll come looking for you themselves. Seun said excitedly. Exactly. Chanseok frowned confused. Why are you pushing me to become a hunter so much? But I don't have any connections or experience. It'll be hard to get decent missions. Seun cut in her voice low. I'll be your connection, completely free of charge. Chanseok's face scrunched up. I don't understand why you're helping me so much. She slowly leaned back. In the future, when you're famous enough for guilds to recruit you, including Janabi, can't you just think of it like that? He added, like an investment in the future. Immediately, an envelope was placed on the table. Read this. The decision is yours. Chanseok quickly opened the envelope. What is this? Seun explained, it's a mission from Incheon City. There's a place called Gyeodong. 2 years ago, they failed to destroy an invasion breach there, and it turned into a danger zone. He asked, so I just need to go there and destroy the invasion breach? She shook her head. No. You'll patrol Gyeodong Island, and if a new invasion breach appears, you destroy it. Chanseok stared intently at the papers. Starts in 1 month, 500 down payment. An additional 1,500 upon completion. For a life-threatening job, the pay isn't that high. Seun looked up with a smirk. If you're so dissatisfied, then get stronger and become famous. The money will just flow into your pockets on its own then. She lowered her voice, emphasizing, so what's your answer? Chanseok's lips trembled, hesitating slightly. At that moment, 2 expensive cars were speeding by. So he agreed. What's he like? Seun said in a low voice. Yeah. Yu Chanseok is a commoner who defeated an armed opponent barehanded in the tournament. The person on the other end of the line was surprised. That's pretty impressive. She chuckled. Impressive is an understatement. You should see what he can really do. The kid fought me for 4 whole hours. The person on the other end was shocked. Really? You must have been holding back your power, right? Seun grumbled. Team leader, I'm a hunter with 15 years of experience. 15 years fighting my way through the most hellish of places. Normally I just toy with them, but him. 4 hours. It's unbelievable. You'd be hard-pressed to find a monster like that even if you were reborn. The person on the line said gravely, but no matter how highly you rate him, the Gyeodong mission explicitly states that we only recruit experienced hunters. No matter how good he is, do you really think it's okay for him to operate among veteran hunters? Seun's palm tightened on the hilt of her sword. Don't worry about that team leader. I've already paired him with someone reliable. The person on the other end hesitated. The Ganabi strategy is your call. What do you think will happen if he reaches your level? Seun chuckled. You might not like hearing this, sir, but if Yu Chanseok reaches my level, he'll be able to take you down too. 1 month ago at Chanseok's apartment building, a delivery person was struggling with an item on his back. Room 1506. 1506. His finger quickly jabbed the doorbell. What the hell did he order that weighs a ton? The delivery person fumbled around outside for a moment. All right, which room is next? Just then, Chanseok quickly took the package. He hurriedly slammed the door. It's here. He crossed his arms, staring at the package before him. That was a long trip, huh? The latch on the case was finally slowly undone. Instantly, Chanseok's gaze froze his eyes wide with surprise. He looked quite excited, gazing down at his hands. This spear, it'll do for now. And this is an elixir. An elixir is an emergency potion commonly used by hunters that contains concentrated magical power. It's useful when you need a quick burst of energy. The normal way of using magical power is like using a water filter. You control the magic in the atmosphere, store it in your body, and then use it when needed. An elixir helps shorten this process. But the way I use magic is different from most people. I skip the storage step and absorb it directly from the atmosphere. The advantage is that it's limitless, since I'm using the magic from the air itself, plus the mana circuits that take in and release the magic. will gradually strengthen, allowing them to hold more energy. The only drawback is that when the circuits are underdeveloped, the amount I can handle is small, making it difficult to generate a large amount of power in a short time. I don't have time to wait. I'll just have to build up a little at a time and use that. If I train hard for a month, I'll definitely reach the level I need. On a crisp morning in Incheon, a massive crowd of people was lined up. A phone with its screen lit up was held out. The official tilted her head and spoke, "Identity confirmed. Team 8, Hunter Yu Chan-sok." A slip of paper was printed out. "I. The team number was posted securely on a pillar. The buzz of nearby conversation started to fill the air. "We should make a good bit this month. When do we head out? I'm so nervous. Man, I'm sleepy." Number 8. Is this the area for Team 8? Suddenly, a voice called out to him. Chan Seok responded in a low voice. "You look pretty calm." Sanga's hand was gripping the hilt of her sword tightly. "I'm always like this. Last time was just because of the static electricity. Anyway, it's good that we're on the same team. Let's work together on this mission." Chan Seok turned his head back coolly. "Why should I?" Sang-ah followed slowly behind him. "You're stronger than me, so I want to learn from you." Chan Seok started to complain. "Oh man, my shoulder. It hurts so much, it feels like it's going to fall off." "My bad," she frowned. "Is it dislocated? That's a dangerous habit. If it pops out while you're using a spear, you could be killed. You need to take care of yourself." Chan Seok frowned, thinking to himself, she was like this during the match too. She really can't take a joke at all. Immediately, someone began an announcement. "Everyone, please gather round. Since all members of Team 8 are present, I will now begin the mission briefing. As we have a new member, I will explain some of the terminology, so please bear with me. Invasion gates are classified as Grade 1, 2, 3 and ungraded. The closer to Grade 1, the more dangerous they are. Furthermore, if it's the first gate to appear in an area, the designation Alpha is added to its name. Currently, the Alpha Gate in Gyeodong is located at the North Church of Insazi. Although it is presently an ungraded gate based on its characteristics, the Invasion Gate will strengthen over time. All personnel are strictly forbidden from approaching it. Our mission is to patrol the areas around Upnezi and Gyeodongmyeon and to find and eliminate any subordinate invasion gates that appear." Min-jae looked up surprised. "Giving an elimination mission to a team with a rookie?" Murmurs spread through the crowd. "We're here. This is Gyeodong Island. You can feel the cold air all the way from here." It felt like his blood ran cold. Chan-sok was stunned when he heard those words. Such an exaggeration. At that moment, both he and Sang-ah were in position. A moment later, they heard the signal horn and everyone looked straight ahead. The situation on the island will be reported from the mobile command post. If assistance is needed, please contact the command room. The final words were carefully emphasized. "Good luck to all you hunters." Minho slowly began to explain. "All right. First, the plan." Chan-sok stared intently at his phone screen. Patrolling 2 areas in 1 week should be fine. Suddenly, Minho stopped talking and looked behind him. Chan-seok pointed at the map and spoke up. "Setting up camp at Waji Temple and operating from there is the best option." Minho slowly adjusted his glasses. "Who are you? I've never seen your face before." "A rookie," Yoro added in surprise. "But why Waji Temple?" Chan-seok explained in a low voice. "From Waji Temple we can observe Upnezi, and from the peak of Waji Mountain we have a clear view of Gyeodongmyeon. Plus, there's an old temple building to use as shelter, so of course we should go there." Yoro got a little agitated. "There are plenty of places to stay around here." Minho added, "What if we climb the mountain and get surrounded?" Chan-seok replied nonchalantly, "It's not like we're fighting 1,000 men, so why worry about being surrounded on a mountain? They seem to be vehemently against it. Either way, I'm not taking orders from some greenhorn hunter." "Where's your experience?" Chan-seok thought to himself. It seems there are ignorant people in every world." Finally, he spoke up. "In that case, feel free to act on your own." At that very moment, deep in the forest, something was moving at an extremely high speed. Chan-seok, Sang-ah, and Min-jae ran forward together. Chan-seok glanced to his side. "I thought Han Sang-ah would be following me, but who is this? His magic power is a bit higher than Han Sang-ah's." Kim Min-jae right. "I was curious why you decided to follow us." He quickly replied, "This is the first time participating for both of you, right?" Because I was worried about letting two rookies act on their own, he chuckled. Thanks for your concern. At that thought, Chan-seok came to a sudden halt. Sensing the danger up ahead, he stopped in his tracks. Without hesitation, Chan-seok immediately raised a hand to signal those behind him. Hold on, Min-jae asked, confused. Hey, you! Chan-seok immediately brought a finger to his lips. Be quiet and look behind that rock. Huh? He asked, surprised. Instantly, Min-jae hid quietly and peered ahead. More and more monsters were appearing. Min-jae grimaced and said, We should go round. There are too many of them. At least 50. Chan-seok whispered, Calm down. Kim Min-jae, what's your unique attribute? He gritted his teeth. Are you seriously planning to fight them? Chan-seok's eyes were sharp as he replied, It's a hunter's job to fight invaders, isn't it? I'll ask again, what is your unique attribute? Min-jae stammered, Flames. He continued, And your most proficient skill? He hesitated for a moment. Fireball. Chan-seok nodded quickly. Good. When I give the signal, I need you to attack first. What? Min-jae exclaimed, startled. Sang-ah beside them cut in. And what should I do? Min-jae's eyes widened in disbelief. You too, Han Sang-ah. This is too reckless. 3 people against 50 of them. Besides, isn't this your first mission? He panicked. We should contact the other hunters right now. Chan-seok cut him off abruptly. There's no time. Unlike us who started from Waji Temple, the other hunters are searching along the coastline. There's no guarantee they'll get here in time, even if they hear the call. If we hesitate and this mob scatters, it will endanger the other hunters too. Min-jae heard every word of the explanation. He didn't miss a single word. That's right, even if there were hunters nearby. Because of the conflict that happened earlier, they might not come right away. Chan-seok continued his explanation, which means, we have to handle this ourselves right now, even at a disadvantage. The only way is a surprise attack. We don't have time, so I'll be brief. Min-jae, you use your fireball to attack the center of their formation. I'll block the flank. He was still explaining his plan. Han Sang-ah, you'll follow this plan. She nodded. Got it. Min-jae still seemed to be in shock. Such a meticulous strategy anticipating every scenario. It's as if he's been through countless battles like this before. A stream of confusing thoughts ran through his mind. Just who is this guy? At that moment, the monsters were all looking in one direction. In an instant, Min-jae was the first to attack. Now! The fireball immediately unleashed its immense power with a blazing flame. The monsters were being incinerated within the flames. Min-jae hurriedly said, I need time to prepare the next fireball. Chan-seok chuckled and nodded. All right, attack as soon as you're ready. Min-jae's eyes filled with confidence in his own power. Understood. In a flash, Chan-seok launched himself forward, his eyes brimming with killing intent. I prioritize combat efficiency over my body. Chan-seok was moving perfectly. Dividing the roles is the key factor. The monsters right in front of him. We're all losing control. Chan-seok thought, while waiting for the next fireball, I'll stop the others from getting close to Kim Min-jae. Of course, on my own, I can't. Look at all of them. The corner of his mouth curved into a smirk. And that's why a clear division of roles is necessary. Her palm glowing Sang-ah gripped the hilt of her sword tightly. She charged the monster without a hint of fear. Lines of electricity appeared coursing through Sang-ah's body. Immediately, Min-jae shouted from within the sea of flames, Fireball ready! He quickly turned his head and replied, I can dodge it myself, just fire. Min-jae immediately clasped her hands together to summon a fireball imbued with powerful energy. Chan-seok quickly leaped aside as the fireball streaked past his grip still tight on his blade. Chan-seok's eyes became incredibly fearsome as he roared, Kill them all! The fierce battle continued to rage in the deep forest until finally the sharp tip of a sword was driven straight into the ground. A thick cloud of smoke billowed out, creating a chaotic scene. Chan-seok spoke in a low voice. Good work, everyone. But Min-jae already had the barrel of her gun pointed at him. Mr. Kim Min-jae! A cold voice rang out. Good work, everyone. A man with sharp eyes raised his gun. Mr. Kim Min-jae! Min-jae lowered her gun defeated and waved her hand. Could you let us through? Huh. What's with this sudden act? Chan-seok thought. The man pulled out a modern device. Chan-seok up, curious, asked, Is that for implanting a microchip? Min-jae replied, Yeah, once the mission is over and the area is secure, the contracted scavengers I work with will come to collect. Chansok looked confused. Scavengers? The man continued calmly. It's difficult for us to harvest items from the corpses ourselves. From the monsters, that is. They're both bulky and heavy, so we implant chips like this. After the mission, the scavengers will come and collect everything of value. Then they appraise it, sell it, and split the profits. After deducting their commission, according to the contract, the rest is paid to the hunter who implanted the chip. Chanseok was suspicious. Can those guys be trusted? Minze answered cheerfully. That's why it's so important to find reputable scavengers to sign a contract with. But still, this is really something. 3 people taking down 50 monsters, Chansok said. That's unbelievable. Suddenly, a monster appeared from nowhere, standing silently behind them and sending a chill down their spines. Chansok immediately shielded Minze. His eyes were as sharp as blades. He spoke in an ice-cold voice. This isn't good. Minze growled. Now what is it? The monster opened its mouth wide, revealing rows of sharp teeth. Chanseok glanced at it, murmuring thoughtfully, Looks like a mid-boss. He angrily ground his teeth as he stared at it. The alpha from before he thought, but the amount of mana it's radiating is on a whole other level than those grunts. He yelled to the others, I'll handle this, stay out of it no matter what. Chanseok thought, if it comes after us, these two won't get away. Sangha hesitated. Chanseok, but Minze cut her off. We should work together to stall it, then retreat and report back. Chanseok growled, enunciating every word go. And stay back. Do you want to go home in a body bag? The two of them heard this and looked horrified, completely in disbelief. It's easier to deal with this alone, Chanseok thought. I won't have to worry about anyone else getting caught in the crossfire, and I can go all out with my heaven-defying flames to end this as fast as possible. He taunted, Come on, bring it on. The blue sky was filled with white clouds. Minze seemed worried. Shouldn't we be helping him? It looks so dangerous. No need, the other man replied. Chanseok looks like he's being overwhelmed. But he hasn't taken a single hit. Not only that, for attacks that I could only have dodged by pure luck, he's not only evading, but also counterattacking, and wherever his blade strikes, black flames erupt. What in the world is this? The more flames there are, the slower the monster gets. At first, Chansok seemed to be struggling, but now, is he toying with it? Is he really a rookie? How is that even possible? Chanseok charged forward, spun around, and holding his blade firmly threw it into the air. Sangha's eyes widened in shock. The spear. He threw it away. Chanseok, watch out. However, the monster only came close enough to bare its sharp teeth at his face and did nothing more. Then it suddenly collapsed. The monster lay on the ground in agony. Its eyes squeezed shut. Chanseok calmly remarked, It burned through all its energy, and it can still move, huh? I have to make sure this is a clean finish. The two of them heard this and were utterly panicked. Impossible, Minze thought. Chanseok was clearly on the defensive, and yet now the monster is down. What in the world just happened? He spoke up, Mr. Kim Minze. He quickly replied, yes, that's me. Is it normal for a monster like this to appear in Jiaodongdo? He replied, I was wondering the same thing. This isn't supposed to be an invasion corps. If this were an area with an invasion corps, a rank 3 classification bin would make sense. Invasion corps are divided into 4 levels. According to the pre-mission report, the Alpha Invasion Corps in Jiaodongdo was clearly void rank. It's possible the Alpha Corps here has escalated to rank 3. Sangha spoke up, but the report said, he cut her off. Calm down. If it's not rank 3, then there's no explaining this situation. Minze interjected, wait a minute. The difference between void rank and rank 3 is night and day. If that's true, then there'll be almost no hunters getting out of here alive. Chansok said, then let's go save the other hunters. With your skill level, even if it is rank 3, you could. Chansok cut him off. I refuse. Why? He replied, how am I supposed to save every single hunter wandering around this island alone? I have my limits too. What can't be done can't be done. Our mission isn't to rescue hunters in trouble, but to identify and destroy the invasion corps that's spawning them. Once you're in this line of work, you can't expect 0 casualties. Hey Sangha, I'm curious. Chanseok asks you this. If you were in that situation, what would you do? You'd also be resentful, filled with hatred, and begging to live, wouldn't you? So it's only natural that we should pity them and save them. I'm not talking about whether or not I understand human emotions. I'm talking about the result. There are some deaths in life that can't be avoided. When faced with that death, no matter what you think or how you feel, you're still going to die. So don't panic in a desperate situation. With that mentality, you won't survive in this world. The door opens quietly and a person steps in and speaks. The building is still intact. No other signs of invasion. Thank goodness. Chan Seok's voice cuts in. See anything? I did. Minja replies, It's too dark. I can't see anything special. Luckily, thanks to the lights, I can see the other hunters' positions. Inside, Chan Seok thinks, revealing our positions with light like that. It's really dangerous. If they were all just small fry, getting discovered wouldn't matter. But if another one like before shows up, I should at least send out this warning. This is IU Chan Seok of Team 8. Based on the level of the monster we just faced, it's possible the Alpha invasion has reached level 3. Using light carelessly could be dangerous. It should be kept to a minimum. So if we destroy the invasion core, will all the invaders disappear? Minja replies, That's right. Without energy from the invasion core, the invasion zone will dissipate. Chan Seok muses to himself. Well, that's simple enough. I just have to destroy the invasion core. Sang-ah calmly closes his eyes as if deep in thought. Minja also takes the chance to get a quick nap. Chan Seok thinks, they said this device will sound an alarm when a monster gets close. I can relax a bit, I guess. Good thing I already identified the Alpha Core's location. At this rate, it should be smooth sailing. Suddenly, Chan Seok jolts. No wonder this felt too easy. A roar echoes from the distance. Chan Seok's voice cracks. You again. He quietly turns back and stares at it. Such an unfamiliar face. At the Hunter Association Command Center on Ryodong Island, a panicked voice rings out. Report. We've lost the signals of several members of Team 5 suspected KYA. There are reports that the monsters are operating in an organized manner. Confirmed 1 KIA in Team 3. What's the situation been like up until now? It's just an unranked invasion breach. This is an emergency. We need reinforcements now. Activate the emergency communication network. Send an urgent request for support to all hunters in the vicinity. Someone speaks up, Chief. Someone is approaching the Alpha invasion breach. The chief yells, Contact them and tell them to stop immediately. Who would be so reckless? The person heading towards the Alpha invasion core is Hunter IU Chan Seok of Team 8, sir. IU Chan Seok was the first to detect the breach's level up. He orders, connect to his device immediately and confirm he's alive. An invasion breach leveling up is completely unprecedented. In that situation, he was the first one to grasp the situation and head for the Alpha breach. Perhaps IU Chan Seok knows the answer. As soon as the connection is established, he curses. You're faster than I thought. You guys told me it was unranked. I was damned lucky to dodge that. You guys don't go on hunts, so you don't even bother to investigate properly, do you? Can he hear everything? Should I mute him, sir? When I get back, I'm going to carve an invasion breach into each of your faces. Confirmed Yu Chan Seok is alive. My current reverse heaven flames aren't strong enough to kill a powerful entity against strong ones. I can only use the flames to weaken them and then finish them with my spear, but that huge bastard won't even go down. In his mind, he thinks I use too much mana during the day. On Ryodong Island, fighting that giant bat, so my power right now is much weaker than usual. I can't leave Ryodong Island, so I have to find a place on the island where I can absorb mana. Suddenly, he startles as if seeing something. He sees a large black hole. Excitedly, he says, Found it! Without hesitation, he dives straight into the black hole. Come on, follow me. There's something I need to check. The security staff's voice wavers. Confirmed loss of GPS signal. The chief is horrified. Hunter IU Chan Seok has entered the Alpha invasion breach. Chan Seok steps inside and remarks, It's cleaner in here than I imagined. I heard unranked and level 3 breaches aren't that wide. I wonder how big a level 1 or 2 is. Suddenly, footsteps sound from behind him. He remains calm. Finished your tour of the invasion breach already? How about we end this relationship of ours right now? I'm not the type who likes to be followed. The monster opens its mouth wide as if to swallow Chansok whole. One of the greatest weaknesses of the reverse heaven flames. It will latch on to every living thing except for myself, even my allies. If I lose control, I won't be able to use it anymore. Chanseok prepares to run from the monster. A purple light erupts from his spear. The monster screams wildly. He presses on, but fighting alone isn't the problem. What matters is what comes next. A blue light radiates from his body. The heart inside his chest is now completely dyed blue. The magic he's siphoning from the monster will spread throughout his entire being. It helps expand my blood vessels and makes my body tougher. Chanseok exhales sharply thrilled. The effect is even better than I expected. The monster looks like it's losing control, its eyes turning completely white. Its scream sounds like it could tear the sky apart. Chanseok is thrilled. Let's see. He turns to face the monsters. The giant beasts stare at him with hungry eyes. They've called for reinforcements. A shame. Pushing them back this way is pointless now. Chanseok stands in the middle of a large, dark crater. Even though I'm several times stronger than before, I'm still a far cry from my time in the other world. Now, where is the invasion rift's core? According to Hunter Kim Min-jae, it's an invader creature. The strongest one in this space. Chanseok's voice drops to a low growl. So, it's here. His eyes fly open, pupils constricting violently. A brutal battle is about to begin. The monster slams its sword into the ground. Chanseok challenges it. You were waiting for the flames to die out, weren't you? So it can talk too. Clever. A core really is on a different level, huh? The monster threatens you will die. Let's see. At my current level, I should be able to land a 4-hit combo. He flies up to face the monster, his spear lunging forward, but the monster swiftly parries the attack. It looks down on him with contempt. Chanseok's eyes sharpen. Twin spears. A blue light erupts from his body. The monster reels back in shock, as if not believing its own eyes. Twin spears. It's a technique that creates a blue afterimage following the path of my strike. This afterimage will perfectly mimic the initial attack, repeating it 4 times. If I attack in sync with the afterimage, then it's just a simple 4-hit repeat technique. But what if the afterimage attacks with a slight delay? It creates the song of overlapping spears, an attack that's nearly impossible to dodge thanks to the delayed coordinated assault. The opponent is bound to make a mistake. His eyes become wild. This ends now. He lunges forward, attacking the monster. Its body is pierced with multiple holes. He thought it would simply disintegrate, but what's this coming out? A box. Chanseok slowly opens it, then his eyes widen at what's inside. A panicked staff member shouts, "This!" The invasion zone is spreading from the center of the island. Section Chief Guiodong shouts in anger, "What kind of guidance were you giving the hunters? Are you trying to get them all killed? We've lost the signal from Team 9. Reinforcements have engaged monsters and can't land on Guiodong Island due to interference." The section chief thinks grimly, "Is this it then? Unless a miracle happens, all I can do is stand here," and watch as the hunters get wiped out. A staff member screams in alarm, "Section Chief, we've received a message from Hunter Yu Chanseok. He's entered the Alpha Rift." What are you saying? "It's being displayed on the main screen now, sir. To all personnel, the Alpha Invasion Rift on Guiodong Island has, as of this moment, been cleared. Confirmed Alpha Rift signal has disappeared. Eradication complete. Confirmed. All creatures that engage the hunters have been eliminated." The miracle! It actually happened. But how? Chanseok sits on the grass, looking up at the sky. The air is so fresh. The monsters are sent flying back, slashed. Sang-Ah's entire body is covered in wounds, but she still tries to keep fighting. Her wrist trembles. She can no longer hold her weapon steady. Sang-Ah supports it with her other hand and raises it high. Her eyes scan her surroundings as she thinks, "There are so many more of them than there were during the day. And what's more, Yu Chanseok is gone too." From behind her, Min-jae suddenly calls out, "Han Sang-Ah." He asks her, "Do you think we're going to make it back alive?" Sang-Ah doesn't answer, thinking to herself, Kim Min-jae. He's at his limit, and I don't know how much longer I can hold on. A monster opens its mouth wide and roars. She ducks low, her face an icy mask as her body loses its balance, and she collapses to her knees. "There's no strength left in my legs." Seeing this, Minjae cries out in alarm, "Sanga!" The monster keeps its fanged maw wide open. His eyes widen in fear. A loud sound echoes through the deep forest. Bright moonlight shines down through the dark of night. Terrified, she keeps her eyes squeezed shut. Sanga! Just then, feeling something strange, she slowly opens her eyes. The monsters surrounding the two of them are gradually fading away. They're gone. At the hunter assembly area on Gyeodong Island, Chanseok arrives looking a little dazed. A lot of people are injured. The invaders must have run rampant while everyone was scattered. Two people in a group see him and gasp in surprise. Huh, Yu Chanseok, it's Yu Chanseok. He ignores the murmurs and walks on in silence, his head lowered. Is it really him? Did he really take down a level 3 invasion rift by himself? Unbelievable. How in the world did he manage that? Minjae waves his hand and calls out, "Chanseok!" He looks toward the voice and sees the two of them resting. "Oh, there you are." He spoke first. "I was really surprised when I got that message. Why would you even think of handling an invasion hole by yourself?" Chanseok, squatting between the two, answered, "Maybe because I wanted to protect the other hunters. My heart told me to do it more than my head." Oh, trying to sound so high and mighty. What kind of twisted logic is that? You're only pretending to be nice now because everything went your way. Chanseok continued, "If I'd known, I should have set out before the contract ended." Suddenly, someone approached from behind. "Hunter Yu Chanseok, it's a pleasure. I'm the representative of the Korean Management Company. Yoon Jong-tae, manager of the Incheon Branch 3. He glanced behind him. "Ah, so you're the one who asked me to come here." He continued, "Excuse me, could you spare a moment?" Beneath a large building, the rain was pouring down. "The mayor wants to see you." Chanseok stepped out of the car. That commanding, "come to me" attitude. Is this some special privilege for high-ranking officials? He held an umbrella against the rain and looked into the building. "Ah, by the way, the contract didn't mention the fee for taking down a level 3 invasion hole, did it? Since I'm here, I might as well negotiate the price." A middle-aged man walked out from inside. "A pleasure to meet you, Yu Chanseok." He held an umbrella and flashed a trademark smile. "I am Lee Billy, Foreign Relations Coordinator." He led Chanseok inside. "The mayor has been greatly looking forward to this meeting. I was also startled when I received the report about Gyeodong Island at dawn. After the mayor saw it, he canceled his entire morning schedule just to meet you." He sighed and replied, "Is that so? We could have met later, you know. It's not like I did anything that incredible." Billy raised his hand in a gesture of dismissal. "Don't say that. A rookie hunter single-handedly taking down a level 3 invasion hole. A case like this hasn't been seen since the era of the very first generation of hunters." Hearing that, he thought to himself, "I guess that makes sense. If I hadn't gone through all those battles before, there's no way I could have handled it alone either." But to think there was a precedent. Wasn't that senior hunter a complete monster? While Chanseok was lost in thought, the man opened a door. "Mr. Mayor, Hunter Yu Chanseok is here." The mayor, sitting at his desk, saw him and immediately called out a greeting. "Oh, you've come a long way. It must have been a difficult journey. I am Park Jon-il, the mayor of Incheon. It was quite rude of me to summon you in such terrible weather." He stood up from his chair to welcome Chanseok. Come, please have a seat. Coordinator Lee Billy, bring us some coffee." Hearing the order, he quickly responded. The two sat down at the table and began to talk. "You've done something great for our country this time." Hunter Yu Chanseok, from my perspective as the mayor of Incheon Gyeodong Island, was a really difficult problem. I knew it had to be dealt with, but with a limited budget. It was hard for me to choose an expensive solution. He picked up his coffee cup and answered cautiously. "It was fortunate that it was resolved this time." "At a relatively low cost, wasn't it?" Park Jon-il agreed with Chanseok. "Indeed it was." "But I heard this was your very first contract, Hunter Yu Chanseok." He took a sip of coffee. "Yes, that's right." Hearing that, the mayor slammed his desk shut to his feet and exclaimed, "For an exceptional person like you to take your first step." Here in Incheon, as the mayor of Incheon, I am incredibly proud. The nation of Korea, the safest place in the world. Park Jon-il's actions left him bewildered. What's with him? Suddenly going on like this, and this Incheon is one of Korea's key regions, you know. It has fantastic infrastructure, like the Incheon airport through which countless goods flow. And thanks to the long-running free economic zone project, international cities like Songdo and Cheongna have so many foreign investors wanting to pour in capital that I can hardly choose between them all. I will use the huge amount of capital they pour into Incheon and the goods transported through the airport to give you Yu Chan-sok the smoothest possible path as a hunter. Hearing this reminded him of something from the past. Yu Chan-sok, let me ask you something. Dongtae asked while driving, can you tell me your purpose for pursuing the path of a hunter? He scrolled through his phone and answered with some rather crude words. If there's a toilet clogged with crap, someone has to jump into the filthy water and unclog it right. He gripped the steering wheel tightly as if he understood something. I see. You're going to become famous. Extremely talented hunters are highly sought after. Companies will ask you to do commercials and famous shows will invite you to appear. Chan-sok smiled and asked back, it seems you're worried I'll be ruined by fame. Dongtae answered frankly, yes. Many promising hunters get drunk on success and forget their original mission. In the end, it's understandable. Just beyond the ceasefire line is an invaded land full of dangerous monsters. South Korea is the only safe place. It's called the last paradise on earth after all. But even this place is ruled by money. What you did this time, Yu Chan-sok, was extraordinary. Many people in difficult situations will look to you. I just hope that you will forever remain a symbol of hope for Korea. Back in the present, the dark clouds had begun to part. Listen to that. I can't believe how excited I got. Who would have thought he'd be so direct about it? Unfortunately, I've lived through too many years and suffered enough pain to be moved by such superficial things as fame and phantom rewards, Chan-seok said, tilting his head. If I get that much support, I should probably do something in return. For example, your next words could help Mayor Park Ji-yeon, whose approval ratings are dropping. Stay in office, he said, sitting down and raising a hand to his mouth for a dry cough. You catch on to the news fast. Chan-seok heard him and explained, you can find anything on your phone these days. Your term ends early next year. From the looks of it, most people think re-election will be difficult. Park Ji-yeon felt a knot in his stomach. A little too blunt, isn't he? To be honest, in the process of joining this contract, do you need permission from the Incheon City office? He fell silent, thinking, not offering any other answer. An announcement that a rookie like me is participating needs the mayor of Incheon's approval. If it's packaged cleverly, it becomes a talent discovered by Incheon. No, a talent discovered by Park Ji-yeon to boost his own image. It's like they're tying me down and then putting a spoon on a table that's already set. He continued gesturing with his hands. As I was saying, thanks to the infrastructure of the Incheon mayorship, I have connections with many businesses both at home and abroad. Park Ji-yeon slammed his hand on the box on the table. For example, this brand of instant coffee. Their contract with the current model is about to expire. I can replace her with your face, Yu Chan-sok. And not just that, in the future there will be countless. He suddenly slammed his coffee cup down on the table. Mayor Chan-seok added his words unbelievably blunt. It seems you think I'm quite cheap. Hearing this, the mayor looked a bit confused and flustered. He explained, I've been watching the news lately. The world needs a new face, someone strong enough to change this gloomy atmosphere. What I mean is if I continue being a hunter just as I am now. Chan-seok leaned his hands on the chair, his expression full of menace. Then all those things Mayor Park Ji-yeon is promising will naturally become mine anyway. Park Ji-yeon panicked, his hands flailing. I can cherry-pick safe and lucrative contracts to provide for you. He stood up, paying no mind to the utterly unappealing offer. Chan-seok turned and walked away. Send my congratulations to the instant coffee model. I'm sure she'll get her contract renewed. Beneath the bridge, the rain continued to pour. 2 figures, one standing and one kneeling, were talking. I see. So the Ryodong Island test was a failure. The kneeling person lowered his voice, apologizing. I'm sorry, sir. The other person remained calm. It couldn't be helped. The guard looked up and continued, but there is some good news. He asked, intrigued, what is it? He hastily replied, the clip from the association's hunter certification exam. Sound from the phone's video played out. What is that flame, candidate? Yu Chan-seok is amazing. Yu Chan-seok. The masked boss held the phone in his hand and smirked in praise. He's quite excellent, isn't he?